Hello, everyone. Welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a look here at Luna, kind of see what's going on, and try to see if we can get some good, profit targets, DCA targets, if of course possible, and understand kind of generally what that's going to look like here in the near future for Luna. Now, if you're new to the channel, I just love teaching people how to trade and helping people save money and make money, of course, to ensure you get on the right track with your trading. So if you want to become a better trader, I've got a trading community with an academy as well, where I basically just teach you how to become a better trader, and of course a signal group too, in case you're curious of what kind of signals I send. Those are every single trades that I take. I just share them with you. Of course, you can automatically follow them if you'd like. It's up to you, but it's more so designed to help you ensure that you can know how to structure a trade effectively with profit targets and stop losses, specifically trailing stop losses. Anyways, we'll talk about that later, of course. And thanks again to my current members. In fact, I got a lot of members here that joined because of Luna, or based on my previous TA for Luna, because Luna has been a pretty amazing coin in the overall sense of things. Really, really good potential, and it's doing very well. If you look at the big picture here, yes, it's consolidated nicely, but on the same accord, that retracement isn't that big of a deal compared to where it should be soon. I mean, you look at how low it came. That's not very low considering most other coins got the bottom just wrecked and dropped out completely. Okay, so all good stuff here. So we are going to start with some of the standard stuff here first and work our way down. One day chart is best to kind of get perspective on the macro and understand generally what's going to happen in the overall sense of things. As we can tell, Luna had a pretty nice meteoric rise and it retraced, of course, but now we've kind of in this consolidation phase somewhere between 44 and 60. Okay, so 44 to 60 is kind of the channel that you're trading within. There's a lot of good channel traders that I know that are very successful with that. So that might be a good consideration for you if you're thinking about that. I do cover this in my trading academy, but generally speaking, if you can identify the trend that certain coins are in, you can really help use that to your advantage. And that's why the one-day chart's really helpful. So to note here, we're kind of back above the 200-day simple moving average, and I don't think we really even truly dropped below there. We had a one-day close yesterday below it, but that wasn't official. So bottom line here is that we're looking pretty good in the sense of the fact that the 200 is kind of averaging itself out. So in the last 200 days of trading, the price action should be $50 or higher, and we're up around 53. So that's a good sign. Being above that is considered to be a support. We are below the 50, but we can bridge that gap a little bit later. But just know that as the 50 works its way down, could potentially become a resistance. We're under 50 on the RSI, and traditionally speaking, that's still considered to be bearish. In other words, when you are under 50 on the RSI, that tends to kind of help you understand the general sense of the momentum is still considered to be oversold instead of overbought, which basically means it's a good value. However, it also means too that 50 could work as a resistance, which is reflectant of somewhere in the range of 54 to 56 in the price action. Because you can see it tried to test and got rejected back here. What was it, on the 15th? So roughly 1 week ago, the price tried to break above 50, got rejected out here right around $57 as a round number. So 57 is probably the likely candidate there for a resistance level. So just note that as potential. Okay, so that's generally what we're looking at on the 1 day. We don't need to worry about the MACD itself here today. We will worry about it, of course, in the 4 hour and kind of see. We had a convergence, of course, at around 1300 yesterday. So 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we saw an increase, of course, to the upside. That was right here. We got that little convergence where the price pushed up. So traditionally speaking, you look at a MACD convergence, that's usually a good signal to go long. You do want to be careful nowadays with Bitcoin being on the downside, pushing, kind of trending down. You want to be careful because it's kind of stacking the odds against you if you're trying to go long with a coin like this. But coins like these have a tendency of breaking free from Bitcoin. As you can see, this quality here that Luna has is much better than most coins right now because they're mostly synonymous with Bitcoin. Okay, so I mean, you look at Bitcoin and you will not see a price action like this. It's continuing to go down, right? Bitcoin's going down, whereas we can see with Luna, it's effectively going up, right? So it's trying to break that trend. And right now, on the 4 hour, it is making higher highs and higher lows so far. Okay, that's a very, very good sign. So all good stuff here in that sense. So just keep that in mind. We're looking pretty darn good here for Luna in the tentative micro and also a macro. So, we're going to look a little bit further back, but generally speaking, the 4 hour, we're up over 50 on the RSI, and we're also have a MACD convergence yesterday. So this little trend, this little push to the upside should continue. Now, bear in mind, we're at a 6 on TD sequential, basically just implying that, with us being at a 6, also trying to break a key level resistance, which is a 50-day simple moving average. On the 4 hour, we might see some sideways action from here until it can break through. It may just blast straight through if we can get some consolidation from Bitcoin sideways. Because once again, even though Luna's doing better than Bitcoin in the overall sense of things, it's also reliant on Bitcoin doing just average, right? Because see, these are the trends that Bitcoin sets when it goes down, right? Because Bitcoin's had two major retracements. But this here is the trend that happens for Luna when Bitcoin goes sideways, right? So that being said, if Bitcoin can go sideways for just say this week here, we'll probably see 54, 56, and 60 at the very least tested, okay? So I think we're looking pretty darn good here, but just know being at a 6 right now, we might only have about 4 more candlesticks, maybe just say 12 to 16 hours worth of transition here, or push to the upside before it, I wouldn't say gets rejected, but it'll probably come up to about 54, maybe come down, consolidate at 52, and increase again. That's a pretty strong likelihood just based on what I see here so far. So just bear that in mind. It's not official, but it's looking like that should happen. All right, and then with the 1 hour, the last thing we want to kind of acknowledge here is a couple things. We'll take a quick peek at TT sequential since we're on the subject. See, look at this here. This is beautiful. Came up to a 9, retraced. Up to another 9, retraced. Now we're up to a 3. Don't get me wrong. It's not a guarantee we're going to see a 9 again, but it's having tendencies of pushing to that number and then consolidating. So hypothetically, according to this this continuation pattern here, we could very well see it work its way up to a 9 and then retrace back down again. Okay. The key is that it's making higher highs and higher lows, and this is extremely important. It's very telling that it's going to have this continuation if we have those things happening so far, right? Now, don't get me wrong, this can only happen for so long. Usually a continuation like this lasts maybe 3 or 4 days. And we're about I would say roughly 2 days into this. So again, the 4-hour chart's telling us a lot. We're at a 6. We have about 12 to 24 more hours of push to the upside, and we can expect some type of pullback. And that's generally what we're looking at here. But all in all, Luna's looking fantastic. I would venture to guess, just based on the current scenario here, 54/57 is a very strong likelihood in the immediate future. Let's take one last look here, of course, at the cloud and see where we're at. Again, all green lights here. We're essentially conversion lines above the baseline. The lagging span is free and clear of any price action here. And we're obviously well above the cloud. So this is basically all green lights to, I wouldn't necessarily say take entry. You probably could take entry right now, but it appears to be a little overextended on the 1 hour. But generally speaking, you are looking pretty decent here at this point to keep your position open if you have one. Okay. Just if you do end up taking a position, I would just be cautious and careful. This is a nice continuation play, but it might pull back a little bit, at least in the next few hours, right? So again, 12 to 24 hours from now, we should expect it to kind of hit its point in which it needs to pull back and correct itself. Otherwise, we're looking very good there. Last thing we want to acknowledge here as well, based on Fibonacci retracement, once again, if we break 57, trend closer to 60, and then close above 60, we will have a possibility of 65, 67.50, upwards of possibly even $77. And I would say a better case scenario for that would be 2 weeks out. I'd say best case scenario, we'll see that in 2 weeks. And again, that's not a foolproof thing. Keep this in mind. Bitcoin is on the downtrend. Luna has done very well in the past, but it does extremely well when Bitcoin does better, okay? So it's doing awesome for the moment. Don't get me wrong, it's doing really good. Nice sideways action. I like this consolidation. It's kind of trying to break free from its lower highs and lower lows on the 1 day, because we got to acknowledge that is still the case. We're still making lower highs and lower lows from Luna. But this midterm push, this pullback here is looking very nice, contrary to Bitcoin, and that's extremely important to acknowledge. So I do think Luna's got strong potential here to do well, and I think this would be something you might want to consider dollar cost averaging into at the very least. Okay. Again, technical data looks good. Pending Bitcoin doesn't do anything further obnoxious, which it has been fairly obnoxious recently, then we should expect Luna to continue to increase. And once again, somewhere in the range of $70 is likely, pending, pending a few factors. We'll have to keep a closer eye on Luna here soon, see how it responds. But if we can break this lower high, lower low pattern on the 1 day, that would be a big catalyst. So ultimately, if we can get above $57, 1 day close above 57 would be the biggest tell that we're likely going to continue upwards. If we can't break 57 in the next few trading days, it might be difficult to see Luna continue, if that makes any sense. All right, hopefully you found benefit. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you next video. If you're not currently a community member, please consider subscribing, of course, and obviously CryptoCache.tech if you want to become a better trader and work with the likes of myself and an amazing community. Thank you so much to my current community members for your amazing support. I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you.